Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. So today I wanted to focus on a quick little chit chat with you guys. I like to think of this as, in case you guys are wondering, this is just ink from when I was writing earlier. So, what I was going to say, I like to focus on a little piece I like to think of as things to make you say, So I wanted to focus on that notion of how certain people could have multiple personalities or personas, and really hear your thoughts about it. So, it should be interesting. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. Things that make you say, So, when it comes down to the notion of individuals having multiple personas or personalities, I think it truly boils down to it being all about perception, right? So, in some form or fashion, has it ever crossed anyone's mind that in some way or another we all have some level of multiple personas, if you will? Because when you think about it, when it comes to environmental conditioning, the fact that we're out amongst the public in various ways, whether it may be at home, at church, at work, going to the grocery store, going to the park, going to the movies, going to visit other family. You get the gist, right? In some way or another, we take on a various approach when it comes to dealing with those different environments. I'll use myself as an example. Some people, especially when it comes to minorities, people of color, when we're in certain environments, there's this notion, not all use it. I don't feel like I use it quite, how should I say this? I don't use it as much as some may need to, but you probably heard of the term code switch. That's an example of taking on a persona just to allow you to kind of blend in with the environment you're dealing with at that given time. I say all this to say that when you think about it, when it all boils down, at some level or another, we all have multiple personas. And I don't think it makes us be viewed as crazy. It doesn't make us be viewed as a nut job or neurotic. I don't really like using the term nut job, but I know some people, when I say that, you'll get it, right? But I think it just goes to say that we've just learned to be conditioned enough where we know how to adjust accordingly depending on the environment we're in at that given point in time. So what's interesting though is that, we as the individuals know who we truly are and, how we truly like to operate. So one has to ask themselves, why can they not truly be themselves in those other environments? I mean, when you think about it, just a few tweaks here and there, and that should be fine, right? Again, it's just one of those things that's kind of like that notion of things to make you say, It's one of those things you just kind of think about, and you're like, wow, I didn't really think of it that way. Like, even for someone myself, being in the type of setting that I work in, the type of people that I come across day to day, I have to carry myself in a certain form, a certain fashion, if you will. And I do so with ease. But I know when I get behind closed doors, I like to be more relaxed. I tend to be a little silly. I like to those who actually have known me know I tend to like to joke around a bit. I feel like, never waste a moment without laughing a little. And, even in a serious setting, a more professional setting, I still like to find moments where I could get it like a good laugh in. It doesn't hurt, right? Now, what's interesting is because the reality in all of this is that when we actually pass on, when we return to the dust, if you will, these various personalities or personas, if you will, actually are left behind. And part of the reason is because it was never part of who we are spiritually anyhow. Talk about something to sit back and chew on. it's one of those things I didn't really come to understand until I've actually reflected on it. Like, wow, that's really a valid point there. The very persona and image that we've developed and it just pretty much exuded to the world. That very persona, depending on the environment we're in, when we return back to the dust, it stays here. I think it's safe to say that we all have some level of, various personas because of environmental conditioning. Whether that's something that could ever change, especially for the future generations to come, hard to tell. It depends on the type of people you're dealing with, and depends on where we are moving towards in terms of as an earthly plane. So when you think about the different, organizations, different businesses that are around, will they be the type of business that have this expectation that you must carry yourself as such, or are they going to be more casual, more relaxed in terms of what they expect of their employees? What may be expected in reference to a lot of the establishments now may be something that's completely different, like 100 years from now. It's hard to tell. Think about it. A lot of the stuff that we were conditioned to use, like in an office setting, you're finding that a lot of it now is going to online. It's more electronic nowadays. Like when it comes to filing systems, things of that nature. So you see what I'm getting at here. So as time progresses onward, who's to say that the very expectations of society as a whole, who's to say that that wouldn't change either? We'll never know. It's something to think about. Again, it's that whole notion of things that make you say, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts about that. Definitely don't hesitate to leave comments in the comment section below. You can also message me on my other platforms or email, just to share your thoughts about it. Just the reality of all of this, knowing that we all, in some form or fashion, have multiple personas or personalities, if you will. And again, it doesn't mean that you're neurotic or that you're, a crazy case, if you will. I hate using those terms, but you guys, just so you get the gist of where I'm getting at here, it doesn't mean that you fall into any of those categories. Because again, it's all about perception, even when it comes down to that. That's another topic for another day. But when coming to the realization that we all, in some form or fashion, have to adjust to a particular persona just so we can be able to move forward in the particular environment that we are in at that point in time. Do you think there's some truth behind that? Definitely don't hesitate to leave a response below or message me on the other platforms. Emails is just as good. Definitely keep those emails coming. I love that. As for consultations this week, consultations are booked. I am booked. But you can definitely set up for a consultation for the following week and onward. If you have any issues with scheduling, just definitely reach out to me on the other platforms with your details, and I'll go ahead and pencil you in. But other than that, as always, I'm definitely sending you guys with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video.